Hi, this is the Tiny Movie. Today we want to talk about a psychological science fiction movie, The 10 Cloverfield Lane. Spoiler ahead. In the opening scene, we enter through a window into a room in New Orleans, where Michelle is packing. She takes a scotch bottle and departs the house, while leaving her ring and a key behind. The sad Michelle is returning to her family. At night she entered the gas station to refuel. Suddenly she noticed a suspicious car parking next to her. She rushed to leave instantly. While she was driving, her ex-fiancé, Ben, called. Michelle's unwilling to talk. The couple had a fight which leads to Michelle heave him. She answers the phone, Ben begging her to return, but Michelle decided to leave. Ben called again. Michelle wanted to answer, but suddenly the car crashed and flipped out of the road. Michelle woke up and found herself chained in a concrete room. She tries to release herself, but it doesn't work. She saw that all her belongings are on that corner. She wants to reach for her phone, but the chains don't let her. She was exhausted, so decided to use the IV pole. She gained the phone, but it has no service. Michelle heard the door is opening. Frightened, she covered herself with a blanket, stunned and worried, waiting for the door to open. A big man with a gun and food tray comes in. Michelle begs him to not harm her. That man was silent. Michelle says, "What are you gonna do to me?" He said, "I want to keep you alive." He gave her a set of crutches, telling her to practice walking with them. Michelle telling the man that her fiancé will call the police, but the man said immediately, "No one looking for her outside," and gave her the key. Instantly after he's out, Michelle freed herself and puts on clothes. Resolute to flee, Michelle used the iron key to turn her crutches end sharp to get rid of the man. But how? She suddenly came up with an idea. When she saw the vent, Michelle lights her shirt on fire to make smoke to activate the fire alarm and force the man to return. Ready to escape, she waits by the door to attack the man. But that man grabbed her and injects a sedative on her arm. Michelle wakes up and sees the food is ready for her and that man looking at her. The man says, "I respect your try, but never ever do that again. I saved your life." Michelle begs him to let her go. This makes the man be confused. He tells her there is nowhere to go. The man sits again to clarify everything for Michelle. He says, "I found you, and by bringing you here in the bunker saved your life." He telling that there has been an attack, a chemical or nuclear. "You were turned over on the other side of the road. I was driving and saw you." Michelle wants to go to the hospital and call her family, but the man informs her that the air above is contaminated and everyone is dead by now, and it takes about 1 or 2 years to be safe to go out. Suddenly, from the noise outside, Michelle realized that someone else is there. The man locked the door to Michelle to deal with the other guy after telling her angrily that his name is Howard. Michelle awoke to the sound of a car passing over the bunker and find the door open. She walked out slowly and was faced with a hallway full of supplies. There she met another guy, Emmett, whose hand was injured. Michelle asks him how to get out of here. Emmett makes her certain that getting out of here is the last thing you want to do because the air outside is contaminated. Suspicious Howard arrived, telling Michelle that what you heard earlier was Emmett, who was knocking over a shelf with a whole week's worth of food. He told Michelle it's bathroom time. In the way, he shows the common area of the bunker to them, which is equipped with DVDs, books, and other entertainment. When Michelle was walking, slipped and Emmett unintentionally grabbed her so she wouldn't fall, but Howard shouted at him that no touching. He made a rule for them. Howard shows his private space to Michelle, telling her that using there needs his expressed permission. It's the second rule. Michelle wants to take the shower, telling "I need my privacy," but Howard doesn't want to leave there. He is unsure. Michelle burns the place down. After the shower, Howard was preparing the meal. Michelle was looking at some magazines. Howard tells those are Megan's, a person who is not with him anymore. The power fluctuates. Michelle telling that maybe someone is up there. Better call the police. Howard says no one is up there, referring to a police radio device that has detected no signal. Michelle was doubtful yet, which make Howard be disturbed. He says, "You think I am crazy, so you better go and meet Frank and Mildred." Upstairs, from the window to the outside world, Michelle saw the corpses of 2 rotting pigs. Howard mentioned this is what happens to you if you're exposed to the air. Michelle turns her eyes across the fields, seeing Howard's car and the red stain on it. Her mind plays the moment before the crash, sure that this was the same car that impacted her. Michelle, suspicious toward Howard, raises. She went to Emmett to ask about Howard. Emmett told her that he was working on satellite for the military before coming here. Michelle telling Emmett that everything he has told about contamination and explosion is a lie. He has kidnapped her by intentionally crashing her car. But Emmett doesn't believe her. Emmett convinced her that he himself saw the bright red explosion and his hand injured during coming inside the bunker. Michelle insists that she heard a car sound above the bunker. Emmett interrupted her by saying, "But the above air." Suddenly Howard arrived and invited them to dinner. At the dinner table, Michelle, who is convinced something is wrong with Howard, was worried. Emmett talks about what he wanted to do outside of here, like getting a tattoo to change the mood. This caused Howard bored. Emmett goes on talking about playing Monopoly and killing time there, and Michelle resumes the conversation with a smile. This made Howard lose his control. He starts shouting at Emmett to shut up, "I'd rather eat in peace." Michelle, watching how easily Howard bothered, formulated an idea. She starts flirting with Emmett. That made Howard visibly jealous and mad. When he sees Michelle touching Emmett's hand intentionally, slams on the table, corners Michelle, shouting at Emmett to shut up and sit down and accusing Michelle she's a betrayer who wants to insult him. It was the best time for Michelle to snatch the key. When they sat down, Michelle was deeply concerned with the key hidden in her hands. Suddenly a car sound overhead catches all their attentions. Seeing an opportunity, Michelle grabbed a bottle and slammed it into Howard's face, climbs up the table, and runs to the exit door. With all her anxiety, she succeeds to open the door. Howard was climbing up the stairs at the same time. He almost reached her, but Michelle opens the first door and closes it. She starts opening the second door, Howard ordering her loudly to not open it. Michelle spots a car in front. Hope fills up Michelle. She starts calling for help, struggling to open the second lock. Suddenly a woman with a bloody damaged face appeared, begging her to open, and Howard behind Michelle screaming to not open. In these moments, Michelle thinks maybe Howard told the truth. She stops escaping. That night, in the concrete room, Michelle was thinking about the reality of losing everyone out there. Howard comes and confesses that she crashed her car when heard the news. He drove in a panic to get back to his bunker, and it caused him to crash Michelle's car. He gave her the Megan's shirts, suggested she take a shower so that she wouldn't be infected anyway. After taking a shower, Howard gives Michelle some vodka he has made and asks her to stitch the forehead wound she made. Howard goes and gives Michelle all the rest of her belongings. Meanwhile, Howard shows her a photo of his daughter Megan, who was taken to Chicago by her mother. Over the next few days, the bunker spirit turns to a friendly nature. They had fun and cooked together, until the bunker began to shake with the loud sound of a helicopter flying overhead. Howard guesses it's the sound of the enemy's helicopter coming to destroy the survivors of the first attack. Suddenly the alarm system sounds. The air filtration system isn't functioning, because something blocked the hedge, and the only person who can solve the problem is Michelle, which is small enough to go through the vent and reach the air filtration system. Michelle with all effort reaches the mechanical room, turns the system on and off and again on, and it works. The air filtration system functions again. There she sees a ladder leading up to a hatch to the outside. Top of the ladder, when she looked up, she discovers someone had scratched the word help on the window. At the bottom of the ladder, Michelle finds an earring, as if she had seen it before. When Michelle returned to the bunker, when she was alone with Emmett, shows the earrings to him, then she shows Megan's photo wearing the same earring. But Emmett remembers the girl in the photo is Brittany, who went to high school with his sister and has disappeared 2 years ago. Michelle tells him about the word help scratched from the inside of the room. Suddenly another photo slips out of Howard's book, one of Brittany and Howard sitting together. Brittany's shirt is the same one that Michelle is wearing. Howard arrives and interrupts them and tells Michelle to shower. Michelle goes to the bathroom to shower, stares at the shower curtain, and figures out a plan. She shows Emmett a drawing she did on a magazine, convincing him to follow along. Later that night, Emmett grabs a pair of scissors from the kitchen. Then, he convinces Howard that Michelle may have contaminated his bathroom when she took a shower after fixing the air filtration system. Howard throws away the shower curtain for caution, but Michelle secretly brings it back. Using different materials in the bunker, Michelle makes an anti-radiation suit so that one of them could go outside and look for help. While playing a board game, Emmett becomes agitated, making Howard suspicious again. Later that day, Michelle continues to work on the anti-radiation suit when Howard arrives, asking her to come to the kitchen, barely giving her time to cover up everything. Michelle, Howard, and Emmett transfer a barrel from the kitchen to Howard's room. Howard again seems suspicious of everything, explaining that the acid inside can dissolve most biological material, including humans. He starts questioning them about his stolen tools, frightening to vanish them into the acid. Expecting to calm him down, Emmett lies that he took the tools to make a weapon, and Michelle had nothing to do with it. He tells Howard that he wanted Michelle to respect him the way she respects Howard. He apologizes, and Howard accepts it, then shoots Emmett in the face. Michelle cringes in fear, with Howard holding her, telling her that Emmett might hurt you. He asks her to return to her room. While Howard was dissolving Emmett's body, lonely Michelle, looking at the ID of Emmett from his wallet, and mourning. Howard walks in, and she sees that he had cleaned up and shaved. He leaves her a bowl of ice cream. Michelle doesn't want Emmett's die to be for nothing, so Michelle determines to complete the plan herself. She continues making the hazmat suit before Howard calls her for dinner. She hides the mask in the vent just before Howard walks in, but a screw on the vent falls. He checks on it and asks her why it's loose. Then, he notices a part of the suit under her mattress. Mad, he drags Michelle off the mattress and reveals the suit underneath. Michelle locks the door while Howard is still inside. She searches Howard's room to take the chemical coolant spray. Howard stops her, but she kicks the barrel of acid towards him, causing him to glide on acid. Made him shriek in pain. Michelle climbs over Howard and runs away. The acid burned the wires in the room, and it made the fire spread throughout the room. Michelle gathers the hazmat suit and masks from her room. Howard staggers towards her, his body half burned. Michelle brings down a shelf to stop him, climbing over it to escape. The fire blocks her way to the bunker's exit. Michelle climbs into the vent, hoping to escape through the mechanical room hatch instead. Howard hears her crawling inside the vent and starts stabbing a knife into it. He grabs Michelle's ankle, but Michelle beats her in the leg until Michelle lets her go. In the mechanical room, Michelle quickly puts on the mask and seals each seam with duct tape. She climbs to the hatch and freezes the lock with that coolant spray. After multiple attempts, she breaks it and opens the hatch. Finally above ground, Michelle breathes heavily, looking around for any sign of life. She sees Howard's old truck and gets in, but her suit were torn. Stressing contamination, she taped it quickly. As soon as it is repaired, Michelle hears a flock of birds flying over her head. She looked at them and realized that the bird would have been dead if the air had been poisoned. She takes the risk, takes off her mask, and waits for the worst. But nothing happened. Relieved, Michelle chuckles. A roaring from distance catches her attention. She climbs on top of the truck and sees an aircraft. Something moved behind the shed. Thinking that it's Howard, Michelle hides behind the truck. After a while, the bunker explodes. Alerted by the explosion, Michelle watches the aircraft turn. As it gets nearer, she saw that the aircraft is really an alien's. Michelle gets back in the truck, searches for the key, but can't find it. She runs to the car of the injured woman, but when she wants to open the door, she triggers its alarm. Michelle rushes to the shed to hide, seeing the body of that woman is inside. She checks outside and sees a creature coming out of the field. Michelle searches the woman's body for the keys, but the creature was coming into the shed. Michelle finally takes the keys and shuts the alarm off, diverting the alien's attention back to it. Michelle crawls out of the shed and runs to the house nearby. The creature hears her and chases. Both Michelle and the alien stop when a rumbling comes from the house. Behind the house, the alien aircraft is approaching. Seeing it release gas, Michelle retrieves her mask and madly seals it on. The gas causes another explosion just before it passes. Michelle gets up, alerting the creature to attack. She gets inside the truck but fails to close it. The creature opens its mouth, grabs her mask, and runs away. Michelle closes the truck, but the truck is pulled into the air by the alien aircraft. Seeing the large being above her, Michelle sinks and was losing hope, but unexpectedly finds a lighter, giving her an idea. She grabs the liquor rolling on the floor and creates a Molotov cocktail. When the creature opens its mouth, Michelle throws the explosive inside. The alien explodes and drops the truck. The alien aircraft crashes and burns on the field. Michelle regains consciousness and gets out of the truck. It takes a while to catch her breath, finally having time to let the crisis sink in. She finds the car undamaged and gets inside and drives off, knocking down the mailbox that bears the address, 10 Cloverfield. The car radio picks up a transmission. The broadcast guides survivors to go to Baton Rouge. It also requests help from people with medical and battle war experiences, asking them to help survivors in Houston. Michelle finds herself at the crossroads between Baton Rouge and Houston, thinking of which path she'll take. She heads to Houston to help the survivors fight. On the way, lightning revealed that other spacecraft were still performing missions in the sky and movie ends. Subscribe for watching videos like this, turn on notifications, and thank you for watching.